Hey, we are up in Graeagle and we are going to ride Mills Peak. We are at the top of Lower Mills Peak. We are not going all the way to the top because we are not in that kind of shape. Plus, it is still completely snowed in at the top. But we've climbed about 4 miles and we are heading down. All right, we are heading down Mills. This is the first trail I took my Ritmo on back in early 2021, and I think this is the first time I've been back since then, and still love it for this trail. This is probably the perfect bike for this trail. After mid-May, there is not a bit of snow on the trail. Haven't really even seen much out in the woods. But, you know, obviously there is snow up higher, but just maybe looks like you're gonna have 4 miles, no snow. And looks like Sierra Butte's Trail Stewardship has been out working on it as there's no trees down. It's not blown out. Not that it ever gets very blown out here. It's still pretty pine needly, so I don't think it's been ridden a ton. It's been about 3.5 years since we rode it. Seems like they've done some fuel reduction, tree thinning. Of course, it's really healthy. Trails are getting very close in Truckee. Actually, some are definitely open. I saw some people riding the Skills Loop at Sawtooth. Heard there's still some snow patches in the Sawtooth area, so I don't think Happy Face is quite ready yet. We've heard people riding Jackass, Donkey Town. And so this is May 2024. There's going to be a big project in the Donkey Town area, so it's going to be closed like all summer. So if you want your chance to ride Donkey Town, you got to get it in the next couple weeks. Yeah, can't believe it's been so long since we've been up here. I love this trail. And this really is the dream bike for it. It just pedals so well, even in the chunky stuff. Especially in the chunky stuff. And there's a fair amount of chunky climbing. Nothing like super technical, just bumpy stretches. Yep. So if you've never been to Mills Peak, the upper part is definitely rockier, while the lower is more flowy with some rocky sections, but nothing super technical. The lower section reminds me of Stanford Rock without the views, and in Tahoe, and also reminds me a lot of Alpine Trail in Oak Ridge. Okay. That's fun. Told Grayson my goal is to ride the whole downhill without stopping, and he said that it might be a little early in the season for my wrists for that, and so that's why it's a goal. We'll see how it goes. So far so good, but we've really only been on the smooth part. So this is a Sierra Buttes trail stewardship trail. They build awesome trails. They do Downeyville. They do not huff. Just a few of the classics. They are an organization that's definitely worth supporting if you ride trails in this area. Got a little out in front of my bike. It got kind of squirrely, but saved it. Now we're on the flatter but chunkier section. So this winter I finally broke down and started doing a lot of long zone 2 rides, or long relative to how long I used to spend on the trainer bike, and turns out that is actually really great. I mean, obviously nothing's the same as actually mountain biking, but this is probably the best I've ever felt coming out of the off season. So turns out longboarding zone 2 is where it's at. Did a lot of Matt Wilpers and CDE Power Zone rides on Peloton. Oh, this is so much more fun on this bike than the Smuggler. And I knew it was fun the very first time I rode it on my Ripmo, but like I said, it was the first time I rode my Ripmo, so I was still getting used to it. And now, even better. Oh God, wrong gear. Wrong gear. Whew. I'm good. Wasn't a little too hard of a gear for that, but I made it. Yeah, this is new. Either that or we're lost and we're in Bend. There's a new trail we haven't seen since Bill's Loop. We got up here pretty early. It's supposed to be like 80 this afternoon, and the dog's in the van, so we don't want to get too hot. But I'm worried we might have gotten here so early. We're too early for the brewing layer, but we can hang around until then. So I'm not driving all the way up here to not go to the brewing layer. Grayson and I often talk about what would be the dream bike for the trail that we just rode, and I honestly can't imagine a better bike for this trail than this Ripmo. You don't need any more suspension. It's got enough to handle everything. It pedals so well, just blows through the chunk. I know some people prefer a bike that does not blow through the trunk, but having done this on both the 115, 120 Smuggler, which it was still fun on, and this, I would pick this bike every time. stop to take my picture. Now I'm gonna